Hi there, my name is Neil. I'm the head gardener at Hever Castle, which is the childhood home of Anne Boleyn. And today I thought I'd like to show you around the gardens and really highlight the wonderful tulip display we have going on at the moment. Overall at Hever we have probably in total 25,000 individual tulips, lots of different varieties, and every colour, colour under the sun. I have to admit, tulips, there are loads of varieties, everything from the little species, the wild tulips, to ones that they call them the parrot and have lovely kind of feathery petals on them. So lots and lots of different varieties to suit everyone. So yeah, the tulips at the moment, so what we now kind of mid-April, the tulips are starting to flower. They will continue to flower right through to probably the end of May. And then once the tulips are finished, that will kind of welcome in the wisterias, the wonderful kind of purple kind of huge long flowers of the wisteria. We will then have the roses, my goodness me, and then the dahlias. So there's a progression of kind of colour and different cultivars and plants coming through every month of the year. We're in the Italian gardens, one of the most formal parts of the gardens here at Hever Castle, on the Pompeian wall, and this at the moment is our showcase of tulips, and as I wander down I'll point out a few favourites to you. How about this one for a lovely kind of tulip? It's called Abu Hassan, and look at that kind of deep red and that beautiful kind of golden yellow tips on it. That really makes any statement in any garden. I think this is another cracker, isn't it? Like I say, the different colours here. This is called Candy Prince. I don't know how you describe it, but a kind of a candy floss pink. And as you can see, we've underplanted it with wonderful kind of small kind of winter flowering, spring flowering violas. So don't be frightened when you're planting a tulip. Be adventurous, and you can kind of plant some small little things in between to make a real good big carpet of colour. It's primarily a bulb. From a seed it can take many, many years, but we kind of plant them as bulbs in around kind of November, December time. Tulip bulbs, funny enough, come into the garden centres and nurseries from about August, September, but unlike other bulbs, they kind of do benefit from being grown later in the season. So November, December, and kind of at a push, you could actually kind of grow them and start planting them in January as well. But later on in the year, or the very early part of the year. Really, tulips, and when you kind of plant them in kind of November or December, the key thing is to plant them quite deep. So you've got your little tulip bulb and you plant them in a ground or in a pot about 3 times the depth. And they will look after themselves, keep them kind of watered if it's particularly dry. Once the flower is actually finished, you kind of cut the dead flower off and the stem. That purely helps the flower not going to seed and all the goodness going back into the bulb for the following year, so you'll get a lovely display the following season. And the lovely one here we've got. How about this one here? Lovely name, Apricot Impression. Beautiful kind of orange kind of tone to it, and if you can notice, lovely kind of green small little stripes going through it. A very blousy one. They love the sunshine, as you can see. These are really kind of worshipping the warm weather we have at the moment. With the tulip, they're really hardy, and they will take frost, they will take snow, they will take the cold weather, they will take the wet to a certain degree, but their real problem is the squirrels. When you plant them in kind of November, December, the tulip bulb is like caviar to the squirrel, so they will come round if you've got them and start eating them. So the best thing is to kind of cover them up with some chicken wire, or there's various little kind of repellents you can sprinkle down, like chili flakes, garlic powder, which has a strong odour, and the squirrels will kind of go elsewhere. The colours of tulips is probably the only kind of species that has near enough the whole rainbow, the whole spectrum. Other than the blue, there is a wonderful tulip called Blue Diamond, which is the nearest to blue, a purpley, but you will get every colour under the sun. You even get green tulip flowers, oranges, reds, pinks, whites, and you get some that are reds and yellows, pinks and whites. The total kind of spectrum really is. The size of the gardens here, the formal gardens is about 125 acres, and at various times of the year when we open our woodlands for the bluebells, etc., that's another 25 acres added on top. Yeah, again, at Hever Castle, it has a kind of garden for everyone. We have the kind of the formal Italian gardens with the formal bedding and the Italian statuary. We have the topiaries, the wonderful kind of clipped hedges of yew. We have a Tudor garden, our famous rose garden, an amazing kind of herbaceous border, and a lovely kind of arboretum, which is obviously a place where the trees are kept. So yeah, a real good variety here.